Greetings, folks. T-Mod back again for another drive time. Let's get this party started. If you can like it, you can share it. Always take it past where you found it. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, shut the blank up Jeanine Pirro. And F is not for fudge. Yeah, go ahead and connect the dots on that one. So, I just heard her on Fox. Going in hard. Most of what she's saying is true. That is what Rhino supporters do. They will give you a half truth, but not the whole truth, to enable you to go and do what's right. See, this was the problem with Jesus and the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all of those that he called a den of vipers and hypocrites. You know, they talked about they followed all of the law, but Jesus said, yeah, you followed the law, but you forgot the weightier matters of the law. Love, mercy, forgiveness, yada, 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 yada. Y'all should know where I'm coming from. Half truths. All right. So I saw a bunch of people posting stuff, asking, hey man, come on, let's shut down your Twitter, your Facebook, Rush shutting his down, a number of other people shutting theirs. Let's shut them down. And I said, hell no. I'm not shutting down my Facebook or my Twitter. Let me explain something to you. We moving over to Parler. Going over to Parler, I'm just simply going to go preach to the choir. They already get it. They understand free speech. And that's all great. But where are most of the idiots and morons? Hey, they're on Facebook. They need to hear the whole truth. All right, so what's the problem with Jeanine Pirro? All she's blaming is Democrats. Now, I did a video the other night, my first drive time for this year. And I laid out the timeline and why all of the news reports about the so-called riots, here comes a Sunday school word, y'all, prepare yourself, was a bunch of bullshit. All right, so I laid all of that out. And I also put on my Facebook wall an article from this rag that told the truth, that said why the claims of a riot in the timeline was a bunch of nonsense. And I say it goes just to what I was saying. See, I was there. I understand what was happening. All right, let me get back to Jeanine Pirro. Democrats this, Democrats that. Yeah, we know what Democrats do. But she ain't mentioning a single rhino. And I've had people come on my wall the last few days, over my post. Damn, T-Mot, you were right. Duh. Man, I can't count the times I have to come back and say T-Mot was right. Well, right about what? I've been telling you since 2012 about the rhinos. When I first became active, now I've always been a Republican, but when I first became active, the Republicans thought that I would be their Negro star and carry their water. But they found out I'm not in the business of selling my soul. I became active because I saw the country going in a direction that it should not have been going. And I realized that with Bush, the Bush boys were globalists. And when Obama got in and I saw he was enacting the same policies, I knew then, damn, there's really only one party, all right? But they pretend and they play this game about it's their fault on one side and it's their fault on the other side. Negro Democrats have been conditioned to vote Democrat. Most of them you can't do nothing with. Then you have Christians that are Democrats that don't understand what Paul was saying about separate yourself from the world. Well, what is the Democrat Party? It is the party of abortion. It is the party of sexual deviancy. They push all of that nonsense. And when you call yourself a Christian and you're a member of the Democrat Party, the party that promotes the killing of the most innocent souls ever to exist, babies in the womb, the most defenseless, you're a hypocrite. Like what Jesus was saying, you are not separate. This is the time in our country where Christians, first and foremost, must show that they are separate because they are coming for you. All right, Joe Biden already talked about, and look, I said I was not going to shave until all was said and done. So I got at least another 9 days, and then, I'll get all trimmed up. But getting back to what I was saying, Jeanine Pirro, blaming nothing but Democrats. That's all she is doing. And it is not just the Democrats. It is the rhinos. All right. Well, who was letting down Donald Trump? Donald Trump gave you a hint in his speech when he came down here in North Georgia. If Pence, yada, 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 yada. Well, we know what that is if you were up in D.C. or if you were watching online. All right, my video just kind of lost its connection. I don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully it's still running. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. If not, I will delete this video. All right, I'm back. I had to reconnect. I don't know what you heard. I don't know what you lost. But getting back to Jeanine Pirro, blaming just the Democrats. And I think I left off with Trump. When he was here in North Georgia, he gave you a breadcrumb on Pence. He said, if Pence, yada, 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 yada. He kind of made a joke about, oh, he's a good guy and blah, 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 blah. But if you heard him speaking up in D.C., he wasn't joking when he said if Pence does the right thing. And he also said if he doesn't, I'm going to be very disappointed. He was talking about a rhino, all right? Pence has a history. Anybody that's been paying attention, you know that. Barr has a history. Anybody that's been paying attention, you know that. Hell, Colin Powell just came out, one of the biggest water carriers of anybody, who sold America on the war in Iraq. All right, but I posted about that on my wall. But let me get back again to Jeanine Pirro, blaming just the Democrats. I used to tell y'all the reason you don't see me on Fox is because I might talk about a rhino. Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, Levine, all of them gave cover to rhinos because they would not call them out. That is the problem. That is why rhino supporters are the biggest problem in this country, because they keep rhinos in office. Doug Collins, what the hell is he right now? Is he out supporting the president? No, everybody is trying to separate themselves from the president. Vernon Jones, the Negro who just came out and said he's leaving the Democrat Party and joining the Republican Party. Man, he's just looking for a new way up. He don't give a damn about Trump because he wouldn't support any of the candidates that had Donald Trump's back. Would not support Josie Cruz over Hank Johnson, his friend, the Guam tipping over dude. No, he would not. She would have definitely been there to help Donald Trump, would have objected to the electoral votes, but he didn't come out and support it. This is what I'm talking about. They played a game of the left-right paradigm to keep rhino supporters stupid. Negroes in the Democrat Party, they really ain't got to worry about them because they come out of the womb voting Democrat. And of course, liberals, ain't much you can do for them. They do what they do. They are godless. I talked about Tulsi Gabbard, how rhinos are, oh man, she said this and she said, she's a member of the Democrat Party, the party that supports abortion. Do you understand what I am saying to you? Now, getting back again to Jeanine Pirro, blaming all of the Democrats. She ain't said nothing about Mitch McConnell. She ain't said nothing about Mike Pence. I could give you a long list of rhinos. Trey Gowdy. When I mention the name of Jim Jordan, man, people just get so upset. You can't tell them the truth because the rhino supporters get so upset. When Trump first mentioned about Kemp, there are people that I know that just came out in droves supporting Kemp and Raffensperger. And they did this. These swing states where they had Republicans in charge, they allowed this to happen. Karen Hamlin, one of the biggest rhinos of all time, when she ran, promised to do something about voting machines. I got a friend by the name of Mike Opitz and Mike Scupine who talked about that and tried to make people remember, but she was still lauded by the Democrat Party. I mean, the Republican Party. My bad, I misspoke. Understand something, people. Christians, if you're a Democrat in the Republican Party, You are not separate. You are part of the problem. Okay? Republicans, if you are a Rhino supporter and you refuse to see, then you will bring on the ad event of the Antichrist revealing himself and making it happen. Joe Biden just put out and said, I am going to defeat the NRA. Well, what does that mean? He's coming for those with the guns. They got a plan. And this is what it's all about. You already know what Kamala Harris is all about. I can't be more clear than what I am about to say right now. True conservatives and Christians and constitutionalists. See, I'm all three of those. I'm of the 3 C's: Christian, conservative, constitutionalist. Christian first. You understand that? There is no way I could be a member of the Democrat Party. I don't carry water. And I don't care about losing friends when I talk about rhinos. Do you understand that? This is why you have never seen me on Fox. Because I might open my mouth. Well, they know I will. It ain't no mic. And when the reason why I still listen to Fox, Fox is one of the places where you can go and I know I'm going to get the half truth. That much I know. But I know what I am not going to get from Fox is who are all of the people that are involved. Those are the rhinos. See, that's the problem with Rush and Beck and Hannity and all of those. They gave cover to the rhinos. They kept the dumbass, excuse my Sunday school word, rhino supporters from understanding what was really going because they knew they wouldn't do no research. Why do you think they could keep the rhinos in party? Because rhinos ain't going to do any research. Because the people like Rush and Hannity and all of those were giving them cover. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? They gave them cover so that you wouldn't know. And what is a rhino? Nothing but a Democrat. A Republican in name only. Pretending to be one thing when he is not. They are the true wolves in sheep's clothing. So when you got the Democrats doing what they're doing on the left and a bunch of rhinos on the right doing what they're doing, why do you think things never get better? Well, things didn't start to change until Donald Trump got in office because he was turning the money changers' tables over. And I'm talking about on the left and the right. And they don't like it. Why do you think Justin Amash got pissed off? He was tied to China. All that information came out. That is what you have been seeing. And the reason why they are talking about today presenting articles of impeachment, they are afraid what Trump might do in the last 9 days. And they want to pull his teeth. What was Trey Gowdy? Nothing but a bulldog without teeth. Talked a good game, but didn't do a damn thing. None of them stopped anything. Now I'm getting ready to touch some of your other sacred cows. I admire Rand Paul and Thomas Massey and Mike Lee for their constitutional voting records. They were great. But what the hell good is voting no when it don't change a damn thing? And before Trump, all of them in their voting records never changed a damn thing. It just kept on going downhill. And I'm almost done. Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, none of them. They didn't name names. They would say, well, my colleagues. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Tell us who. Give us a name. Who is screwing us over? They didn't go that far. Now they are calling for the 2 guys that revealed information to us that they want to see Snowden and Assange given pardons. But wait a minute. They are the ones who gave up everything to tell us that information. Y'all didn't. And y'all knew it too. But y'all didn't tell us. That's what y'all don't understand. They were ineffective. Voting no ain't enough. What are you willing to sacrifice? Well, Snowden, he did it. Assange, they did it. They gave up everything. What did Trump do? And I just put that out there. Trump, loved by everybody, gave all of that up for the sake of the country, for the sake of you. Many of you don't even understand it. Many of you can't even see it. That is a shame. This is why I am not shutting down my Facebook or my Twitter. Now, they can shut me down, but it won't be because I walked away on some nonsense, all right? Won't be because of that. Because the place where the people need the help are those that are in the hospital, where the sick are. And where are the sick? Those that are out there, rhino supporters, supporting rhinos who don't know they are helping their very enemy that we need to be trying to stop. Do you understand? Do you understand? I have been telling you, I am a John the Baptist type. I am out here in the wilderness telling you what most people are too afraid to say. If I had $1 for everybody that said, man, I wished I could say it, I can't because they might call me this or they might call me that, man, hell, I could have ran $1 million campaign. I don't have a problem with giving up all that I have and all that I am for the sake of this country. But more importantly, because I stand on the word of God and for my children and grandchildren I hope to have one day. I don't have a problem with that. I used to say when I was campaigning, I will gladly lay down my life for this country. Hell, I already did it once when I signed up for the military. You don't think I knew what the cost was? You don't think I knew what the price would be if it came down to it? And I was willing to do it. That's right. But these rhinos, folks, we have a job. And that job is to try and wake up these rhino supporters. Ain't nothing we can do for those over in the Democrat Party. Ain't nothing you can do pretty much for anybody that supports a Democrat. But those that will at least open up their ears, those that will at least take the time to hear, we got to try and reach them. That is the only way that we're going to stop the Democrats, is by exposing the rhinos. And how do we expose the rhinos? We got to get the rhino supporters to wake up. So all of those people, Rush Limbaugh, they didn't do you any favors. They only gave you half-truths. And I listen to Fox, like I said, because of half-truths. I don't have to listen to CNN. I know I'm getting all lies. That's the reason when I was at my room, I got my butt back up, put on my clothes, my boots, and went back out there in that cold to go see for myself. And I knew the timeline was wrong. Trump supporters were not out there rioting. But most of you won't get that because Fox ain't talking about it. They're just not doing it. They're only giving you half-truths. So, wake up, America. Wake up. I've talked 17 minutes. 17 minutes is long enough. Most people won't even listen to this video. But those of you that have made it this far, you can share it. But you can count on the fact that most people won't listen to it. So what does that mean? You got to take it past where you found it. You got to put the information out there. Even if you got to do it bit by bit. Even if you got to spoon feed them. If they're willing to listen, spoon feed them and give them the truth. If they don't want to hear it, do like Jesus Christ said, shake the dust off your feet, your sandals rather, and keep it moving and take it on to somebody else. Your responsibility is only to share the truth. You've all heard the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But your job is to lead them to the water. And whether they drink, that's going to be between them and God. But in the end, when you stand before God, God will say, well done, my faithful servant. Well done. If you read the parable of the talents, there were 3 of them. One did more than the second and the third did more than the first. The third, but the third didn't do anything. But the praise that he gave to the first one and the second, even though one did more than the other, was the exact same. But the wicked servant who didn't do anything, he said, I'm going to take away that which you thought you had. And that is the point, and that is why people like Jeanine Pirro and Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck, they have done America a disservice because they only gave a half-truth. They took the truth, the part that we needed, those that were screwing us over, the rhinos, and they buried it so that you could not see. And Trump has exposed the media, and Trump has exposed the rhinos. What reason do you have now to continue supporting rhinos? Only one. You're a dumbass rhino supporter. Hey, it is what it is. T-Mot out. Drive time till next time. 19 minutes and 55 seconds. I'm going to hit in at exactly now.